Okay, hey guys, welcome to our virtual afternoon tea because
in the evening.
It's evening and it's hot chocolate, not tea because we're in the snow. So welcome to evening hot chocolate and yeah, we're gonna get started now.
Well, this is our beautiful snow, as you can see.
All this snow.
Courtesy of Mom and our little brothers. Yes, they provided us with some snow.
Flakes.
Yes, some snowflakes.
I have cornflakes made
with
out of
six
snow.
sides. With 6 sides, Zach.
My one isn't hanging up, so you can't say anything.
Okay, anyway, let's go have a look at our memes. Here's a meme. Well, that's one idea, I guess.
Whoa. That's whoa. Would not want to see that driving towards me.
No.
Wow.
Well, that was a highly efficient idea there.
Yeah.
That car hasn't got any snow in it.
Yeah, the
Yep.
car is perfectly snow-free now.
And everywhere else ain't quite snow-free. Whoa. Canada.
That's
just
awesome.
a little bit of snow in the way there.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's real,
that's
Mum.
real.
That's real.
I think it would be
Um,
claustrophobic though, like driving between two massive
Well, look,
walls.
at least if you crash, you're not going to die. You just go into the snow.
It's not soft snow.
Actually, what if you
Stays
suffocate
up like
because
that.
you're buried in snow?
And guys, it's getting rather
Would you really
morbid.
mind like something?
I think Calvin
Snow's supposed to be soft and comfy.
hit us up with another meme.
Let's
This
go.
one's getting too morbid. Oh,
Say Canada.
I like that.
that's a cute
That's good.
one.
I think that's
was
pretty good.
a very
Snowed up. What is it
clever
holding?
It's safer.
I wonder how
Is that a
difficult it is to
violin?
like actually make a
Bow?
snow figure.
We never get enough snow. The biggest snowman I've ever made was made actually out of like ice because there wasn't really snow. It was just like
Snow
slush.
is like.
And it was like this tall, like 5 centimeters tall.
Oh wait, but we do have
So,
a snowman
That's
here.
5 centimeters.
Exactly.
As you can see, guys, look, this snowman here is our biggest one yet.
Can
Oh,
everyone,
there we
can everyone
go.
see our little
Yeah, it's,
cookie snowman?
These
down the
are
front?
our almond snowballs that because we made them a few hours ago, they've started melting. As you can see, like they were round and now they're melting. Yeah.
Okay,
A lot of lag.
because we live in Australia.
Yeah.
We have them shipped especially from Antarctica.
Yeah.
That was expensive, by the way, so we hope you appreciate it.
We are currently sitting in a -3-degree room to maintain that, and they're still melting. The room's still cooling down, so they should last like that.
Anyway,
And we put
continuing
fire
on.
next to it.
Continuing on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's actually pretty smart. Wow, okay.
That's like next level snow sculpting.
To be honest, I'd
sculpting.
probably do something like that if we had snow
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Don't your hands freeze when you do stuff like that though?
It's called gloves.
Yeah, but gloves aren't. They're not that of it. Like your hands still get cold when you wear gloves.
Then why do you bother wearing gloves? Like,
So they don't get as cold as they would be without the gloves.
but they're gonna get cold anyway.
But they might not be the right type of gloves.
So you don't get up to frostbite level of coldness. Anyway, is that all that means?
So, next
Yes.
category is...
Stuff people made. I think that's what it's.
Ooh,
Oh look, it's a
that's
drawing.
cool.
That's pretty cool. Nice 3D effect there.
Mm-hmm. Who was that by?
And it has 6 points, Zachary.
This is by me.
I can see.
Oh, that would make sense. Hey, well, look, it does have 6 points.
But each of those points is 3 points.
See, I could have made a different picture where I put one of each of us on the edges of the snowflake because there are 6 of us. But I decided to go with a cat. It's going to work for this one.
Why a cat though?
Because cats are more snow resistant than dogs.
What is
I don't
that's
know.
not true. Sled dog?
What's a husky?
The cat was easier to draw, okay?
Right. Sure, okay, let's keep on going to our next thing somebody
Here,
made.
kitty, pull this sled.
Alright. And this is a picture from Esther. Yes, and she has sent in this lovely drawing. Painting.
Nice.
I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
I think it's snowing. I think I can see snow.
Well, yes.
Is that snow?
Yes, that
Yes,
is snow,
it's snow.
because the theme is snow. But yes.
Oh, it's the snow
It's
thing.
like it looks like Cinderella.
Because it's a blue dress?
Yeah, it's like a blue ball gown.
Right. Well, how many points is that for, Esther?
That is 50 points.
50 points. Okay, I'm guessing that's our last thing that somebody made then.
Yes. Yes. But it was pretty cool. It was nice that you had lots of bright colours even though it was a snow theme because as you can see, we went with the like dark night with the snow theme.
Mostly because you couldn't see our snow against a white wall.
Yeah.
But let's not mention that.
Yes, so thanks, Esther. We'll add that to your
pass me
points
my
from
artwork
last week.
there.
What, that's
Yeah.
your artwork?
Jaden made some art.
Okay, so this one is
Oh, Jay has some art to show us. Cool.
snow. It's just snow. Okay, we'll put that one aside.
Thanks, Jay.
Next,
This one I like. This
This
is my
one
favorite.
Yeah?
is a blizzard.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
You've
a
been
blizzard.
really busy with the art this week, Jaden.
I have a few more.
You have
Is
it.
that polar bear?
Not yet. This one
Yeah? What's that one?
is
Eyes.
an Arctic fox in a blizzard. You can't see his eyes because they're shut.
Yeah, I personally
And he's curled up in a ball.
I personally
And,
like
and,
the Arctic fox.
And
Yes.
this is a polar bear in a snowstorm.
Also one of my favorites. Like, I love the detail in your polar bear. Like how you can clearly, like, not see all the bits of fur.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Flawless in every way.
Yeah. Like, you can't pick out a flaw in any of those pictures. They're just, like,
I
so
know,
on point.
we could frame them and sell them for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
We could. But yeah.
I think we should keep them to enjoy ourselves, though.
I could buy a Ferrari.
Okay.
Actually, I could buy what's he? The snow thingy.
A snowplow?
Machine. No. The snowmobile.
Oh, a snowmobile.
To use in
Yeah.
Australia.
To use in
Great idea.
Sydney.
Well, yeah, you can ride them on water if you go fast enough.
Yeah, but you have to get in
If you
speed.
go fast enough.
a jet ski.
No.
Mum, why are you still here? Please go watch a movie. Go watch a movie, Mum. Mum, go watch a
Guys, we're
movie.
getting nowhere with this.
Alright,
Let's
next
move on.
category.
Next category. Mum, go watch a movie.
So
Go.
this week, we actually do not have any epic stuff that people made. Sad, right? I mean, after all that great
I am
artwork-
extremely surprised and horrified that we don't have any submissions from anyone.
in that category. We had submissions in other categories. Anyway,
Wow.
but yes, we are looking forward to seeing what you come up with for next time. Cool. So now it moves on to one of our favourite parts out of all our many favourite parts of the night. no one else knows what we're up to. We're up to the Mensa.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Mensa time.
as usual, guys, we hope you really have a whale of a time. Zach, we need the timer so that we can.
we don't need the timer. We do not need that timer.
We don't
Other
have
timers
another,
exist.
No, we don't have another timer. That's the only timer, man.
No. Okay, let's just start the Mensa.
Let's put the Mensa
Just
up.
start the Mensa.
Okay.
All right, and answers.
Wait,
You have to turn the whales over. Yeah, thanks.
should I put it where they
Okay.
can see?
So there are our Mensas.
Okay.
And if anyone hasn't done them before, these are word puzzles, and it's kind of based on the placement and the quantity of the
Anything
words.
really to do with the picture of the word.
Yeah, but they're all well-known phrases. The answers are all well-known phrases.
Or sayings.
Yeah. So, Zach, if you could keep track of answers coming in, and I will write down the scores.
Remember,
And you...
send them to Michaela. Okay. 3, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, 2 3/4 plus another half quarter, which is an 8. And 1. We are done.
We are...
We are done. That is it.
Yes, we are done.
So,
Okay. So, we have in first place for our Mensa today, we have Erin and Kyle tying. So they get 50 points each because they do.
because that's the way it works,
Yep, so that's right.
I think.
Uh-huh. And
So
then
we have
in
a double
second
50
place,
pointer.
Jaden, we have...
I cannot see
Esther and Abby have tied.
Everybody's tying. Everybody's getting really good at these.
that. We're getting tired.
I feel like we have to find some harder ones.
Okay.
And in third place we have Zinni.
Zinni with 54 or 5 and 4, which is 2.
That was really confusing.
Yes, you got question 5 and question 4, which is 2 questions.
Yes, you did.
That makes slightly more sense.
Mhm.
Okay. What's our next thing?
Well, now we have some very cool, hint, cool, brrrr, trivia.
Okay.
Mum, go watch a movie.
She made the trivia, and where's the answer sheet? Mum, the answer sheet.
Should we get a
is
cheat
gone.
sheet?
I told you I needed one.
Gone. Where'd it go?
Oh, looks like yeah.
Can you please-
Is that it? No.
No.
Maybe Zachary cut it into a snowflake.
That's very possible.
Mum, I had a. Is it up there?
That could be it. Oh, could not be it. Could not be it.
Guys, it had
I know where
red
it was.
printing on the bottom,
Start.
but we don't know any of the answers.
I do.
I know the answers. Okay. So, we're going to jump right into our new trivia. And we will be... Well, you can collect them. I'll read the questions.
Bless you.
Just make a new, just tally them.
My son.
There, all right, here we go with our new trivia.
Action. That means hit the button.
Hit it. Hey, oh, I'm kidding.
That
That's no
means
trivia
next
is-
slide, Calvin.
The first question. Feel like we're in the middle of again. Back in last week.
So it looks like our screen is frozen.
Well, if you have,
Did that it being themed? That our screen is frozen. Yes, should have seen that coming. Really should have seen that coming from a long way off. But I think it's working now. So, question 1: when does snow make a noise? When it is freshly fallen,
Wait,
The air
let's
temperature is very
turn on
low.
your
Remember-
microphones.
Yeah,
No,
turn on your
that's like
microphones.
wave hands.
Erin's gonna win because she has the fastest
Oh
Wi-Fi.
yeah, true. So what was the thing there?
That's not
Wait, how
true.
did they?
It's a fact.
Yes, it is.
How did
It
they-
is.
How did they do it last time?
Okay,
they call
so you
out
have to
or-
put your hand up in front of your camera and wave madly, and whoever waves the madliest and the fastest gets chosen.
You might get chosen for being extra dramatic.
Yes. So, ready on 3, put your hand up if you think you know what the answer is. 3. Kyle,
That was
I saw
Kyle
Kyle's
first.
first way before anyone.
Is it C?
C.
Yes.
Congratulations, you have won the first point, Kyle. Good job. A round of applause, everyone. No, we're not going to do that. I saw that.
Okay, let's go on to question
You should just
2.
join us, Mum. You should legit just join.
What movie is this picture from?
Oh, I almost said it. Erin.
Below 8?
No, it is not. Anyone? No one. Does no one know where this is from? Just take a look at the picture. What do you see in the picture? What do you see in the picture? Esther.
Is it Snow Dogs?
Yes.
Did you see it with us?
I think she's watched it with us before.
No.
Back in our day when we were on trees,
Wow, dang. Okay,
running
next
around.
Alright, next one.
Real homeschools. Anyway.
Where's that? That is a good question.
Oh,
Have a guess. Where would
Yeah.
it be snowing and a
giant
where there's
castle,
a castle?
in the middle of it.
It's not a picture from a movie.
Esther?
I think it's Finland.
No.
Nope.
Not this one. It
It's in Europe though.
is.
Kyle.
Kyle, I see you there.
Greenland?
No.
Not quite.
No?
Castles. Okay. Think about Deutschland.
That was way too obvious.
Kyle.
Is it Germany?
Yes.
Zachary, that was
There we
too
go.
obvious.
Kyle takes the second point. That's the
Okay,
second.
whatever. No, I just.
That, as in Kyle's second
Okay,
point. It's
Here
his
is
second
another
point.
question for you. On which other planet in the solar system
Have scientists
Observe.
no
falling? Kyle.
Jupiter?
No.
No, didn't think so.
I mean, I could sing a section of the Carmina Burana, which would give it away, but I think that would be a bit too obvious.
This planet must be pretty vain.
What?
I don't think that helps.
That does not help.
No.
Oh wait,
Well,
never
Esther's
mind.
waving, so
I think I read the wrong
Esther,
one.
Yes.
Venus.
Esther.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Why would you say
I
not
kept
for
thinking about Jupiter.
Venus? Vain, but no one gets veins. No, okay. Sure.
Oh,
You
there you
can't
go.
give it
IV
away.
intravenous
In
Alright.
what
Movie,
is
egg,
kept
safe
while,
in Jamaica's
Bob
sled,
in
the
winter.
Olympics?
All right, because there's already multiple people waving, we're going to go on 3. Everyone put your hands down. Hands down. 1, 2, 4, 8, 3.
It's cool running.
Right. Yeah, it's
We should have
correct.
said no.
Classic movie there.
All right, next one.
We watched that at a quiz.
Okay, you can make
Where
that
is
above
this?
you.
Where is this?
some people seem pretty relaxed.
The water looks pretty hot.
Yeah, it looks
Volcanic.
pretty warm in that pool. Yet there is snow surrounding the pool.
Kyle.
Is it like Russia or something?
No. Looks a bit icy. Abby.
Is it Iceland?
Yes.
It's a hot springs in Iceland where the springs come from.
Volcanic.
Yeah, they're heated by the.
Volcanicness. Anyway,
Yeah.
next question. What size was the world's largest recorded snowflake? 38 centimeters, 38 inches, 38 millimeters. Abigail Ryan.
38 centimeters?
Yeah.
Right.
That is
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big snowflake.
I imagine like that. That's
Dead.
pretty dangerous.
That's literally.
Made out of ice, Calvin.
Yep.
What movie is
Oh,
this?
come on. You can't not get this. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Kyle.
Is it Frozen?
No,
Is it Frozen?
It's
Well,
not.
Is it?
Frozen.
It's
No,
not.
It's a
Frozen
slideshow.
2.
Yes. Oh, my goodness, Michaela.
Right, next. Where is this?
This is a well-known place that is often featured in movies, but usually not in the
Kyle.
winter.
It's Central Park or something?
Yes.
That is correct.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Killing it. What
Oh, boy.
shape of snowflakes?
Zach, what shape are
8-sided.
Kyle.
Hexagons.
Yes.
No, they're octagon.
Oh yeah, sorry, the octagons.
What
Yeah.
movie
See, my boy speaks
is
to me.
this?
What movie? I don't. Oh, wait. I think I know.
Take a well-educated guess at it.
Kyle.
Is it Everest?
Kyle.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good job. Where is this? Abigail.
Kyle
Abigail.
again.
Is Abigail.
Kyle was
Norway?
first.
Who's going?
Yes,
Me?
it's Norway.
Is it Norway?
Yes.
Signing up.
What? Oh, okay. I know what happened there. Never mind. Hi, Luke. Anyway, next question. What ratio of people are buried in avalanches that are? What ratio of people buried in avalanches survive?
1 in 4.
A, 1 in 4. B,
1 in 10.
C,
1 in 20.
D,
1 in 50.
E,
1 in 372.
F, none. Kyle.
1 in 10.
That is incorrect.
Abigail.
Is it 1 in 4?
Yes.
That is correct.
Next.
What movie is this from?
That
Aaron.
was Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah.
It's from Abominable.
Yes. That is right.
Is that right? Cool.
You want to say it, Zach?
No.
Say it.
Abominable.
All right.
Where is this? Aaron.
had it.
It's in Chicago.
Very
Yep.
good. She got that very fast. I was not sure people would know that,
Next.
but she knew that.
What does a snow groomer do? A. Use snow in hair styling. B, move snow off the roads. C, manipulate snow for recreational use.
Oh.
Carl, yes.
Kyle.
C.
Yes.
That is correct.
He knows a lot about snow.
No, it's just a very lucky guesses.
You say he snows a lot. What movie is this from? Everyone should know this. Kyle, again.
Ice Age.
Yeah, boy.
Which one?
Which one?
But Zach,
One, yes.
but Zach,
It is from one.
why is it called an ice age?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know the quote, man.
All the melons are
No,
gone.
it goes because
The last
of all
melon?
the ice.
Oh, because of all the ice. Yeah, okay. Oh, I get that reference now. Anyway, next question. Where is this? Oh, I can tell. Kyle, again.
Is it Japan?
Yeah.
Are you
That
sure
is
Kyle
like
doesn't?
Kyle, do you have Google open?
No, my hands. I'll keep my hands here then for you.
Okay, there we go. Approximately how tall is the world's largest snowman? Is it A,
We haven't read out the answers yet.
Hand up, like just
Abigail,
A, 29
sorry.
meters. B, 37. Or C, 43.
I'm gonna say it's C.
not,
No.
no, unlucky guess. Kyle,
Is it B?
Yes.
what?
All right. Next.
Hi, Luke.
What movie is this?
they're like
Aaron?
Aaron.
I think it's the Christmas Chronicles.
No.
Nope. I don't even know what this is.
You haven't seen it? It's on Netflix.
It's plausible.
Really doesn't help.
Yes, but it was made by Netflix and it was released just this last Christmas.
Okay, Google that, people.
Any guesses at what a
Look at it. What do you
Kids.
think it is?
Christmas movie might be called?
Guy with a big beard, carrying a sack, you know.
Santa Claus.
Close, half of that.
Aaron?
Santa.
It's Claus.
Nope. Yes.
Good job.
All right, next one. Where is this? Abigail.
No, I couldn't.
Oh, look,
I
it's
think
Livia.
Kyle was first.
Hi,
There
Livia.
you go.
There's
There you go.
a snowflake in my
G'day.
vision of everyone. Okay, I don't know who's answering now. Zach, who did you see first?
You go, Abby.
Is it Greenland? No, sorry. Okay, never mind. Stop that. Kyle, you answer. That was stupid.
Is it Antarctica? No, Finland.
No.
No.
No, Carl.
Can I answer?
Hmm?
Is it Alaska?
Again. No.
No.
Oh.
Can I speak loudly? It's an igloo.
It's an Inuit. Inuit.
Inuit.
Inuit.
Inuit.
Inuit.
Inuit home.
Like a minuet, but
Think.
without the M. Inuit.
What?
You could make some nice songs.
Where are the Inuits from?
Inuit.
What countries?
Somewhere. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Aaron.
It's an America. I just don't know whether it's north or south.
It is not.
No,
in
it's neither of
America.
Oh.
It is very close.
Think maple leaf.
It is.
Canada.
Yes,
that was
Kyle.
Kyle.
That was way too obvious. Come on.
They weren't getting
Kyle
it.
still got in the first.
You can't give them the answer.
Luke. Chill.
Inuit.
I mean, I was giving them the
Inuit's
tune.
Canada, but you can also do Russia, so either would have been okay.
Right, don't see.
But I was giving them a clear melody of the Canadian national
Oh,
anthem,
Canada.
which I learned in year 5.
Something I know you would never stop singing it. I remember that from back then.
I don't.
She
Yeah,
never
anything she went to
stopped.
All right, next.
How long did it take for the second largest snowman in the world, Angus, to melt? A, mid-April, B, mid-May, C, mid-June. Kyle.
I'm trying to do a rap.
Mid-April.
No.
No, it's not correct.
No. Well, also keep
Abigail.
in mind that it was made in December.
Abigail.
Mid-May.
No.
No.
Oh, geez.
Oh, Esther. I wonder what it could be. Yay! How did
That
you
is
know?
incorrect.
How did you know?
Okay.
It's the answer.
I'm
is
getting really
D.
hot in this jumper now.
Exactly.
Ah.
Remember, it's like -3 here to keep us.
Oh, well then, hypothermia, here I come.
What is
What does that mean?
Your body gets really, really cold.
It's where your body
Calvin,
goes below the average temperature and it starts shutting down all your vital
thanks,
organs.
Calvin. Here's another movie for you.
Oh,
Aaron. Liv, you say it.
What is it? It's the Polar Express.
Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
that is correct. I had to check that. I've never seen it.
We have seen it. We just
What?
we saw it. ages
Oh,
ago.
that thing. Yeah. Didn't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Where is this? Kyle?
Is that New Asgard from Endgame?
No,
No.
it's not Kyle.
It's a country like all our other. Where is this question?
You've said it multiple times, I think. Abigail, Ryan.
Is it Norway? No.
Nope. Luke.
Switzerland?
No. Kyle.
Finland.
Nope. Anyone else? Esther.
Iceland.
Nope. Anyone else? Is it?
No, it's
No, it's a land.
well,
Kyle.
Greenland.
Yes,
Yes.
there we go.
they're well known for their really colourful houses.
And green grass.
Alright.
That's the name Greenland.
is full
I
of-
know. And then Iceland is all green. It's weird.
Alright, here we go. I think this is our last one.
In the 1945
Oh, maybe
song
not.
Let It Snow, what were the singers eating? A, popcorn, B, potato chips, or C, donuts? And Erin already has her hand up because I guess she knows the answer to this.
Yeah, it's popcorn.
That is incorrect. I'm joking. It's right. It's right.
Zach, did you know what the singers were eating?
Yeah, popcorn because it's A. It's always A when it's singers. Do you ever see them going C, B? No, it's also A,
Alright.
R,
Calvin, is there more?
A.
One.
What movie is this from? Kyle.
Is it Home Alone?
No.
Zach,
Yes.
you come up with the random nose. Okay.
Is there another one, Calvin? There is.
Where is this?
There's another
I
one.
actually know where this is.
Where is this?
Is that the hotel that they build they rebuild it every year?
Yeah.
Every year.
Yep.
Where is it though?
That means we could redesign it every year.
They do, Michaela.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, but also a lot of work.
It's very expensive.
Nothing's wrong with
It-
me. There's
It's
nothing wrong with
expensive
me.
and it's
Just
also
exhaustion
extremely
from sugar.
cold.
Did anyone get that? Calvin, go back.
No one actually found what. No
Where-
one answered.
Kyle. Yeah.
Kyle, where is it?
Is it Sweden?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweden.
And what color is the snowflower?
Green.
Zach,
Esther.
White.
No. Kyle.
Kyle.
Like yellow?
No.
No, don't do this.
I'm sure.
They can keep guessing colors. There are many colors. It is not a
Easy
weirdly named color.
It is a color.
It's one of the main colors that everyone
Esther.
uses.
Red.
Yes.
A snowflower is red.
Oh, we could have had a picture of it. Huh?
Next,
What movie,
movie?
is
Kyle.
Santa Claus?
Yep.
this? Which one?
One. One, I think.
What
Yes,
year?
the first one.
What year?
Yes.
I'm joking.
What year, Kyle?
Like 09?
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. We're just asking you because we can.
You seem to know everything.
Was it actually, when was it made?
I have no idea, man.
We're
Hang
gonna
on.
next
just
one
Google it.
while
Say Santa
Jaden's
Claus
looking
movie.
that up. Oh, okay. This is the next one. Thank you for participating. We eagerly await your participation in other areas.
Okay, who's going to answer this one first? Kyle.
You can all answer this.
Thank you.
Yes,
Next week.
that is correct.
Okay. You're okay. While you're sorting that out, let's just Zach.
Hi.
So I can't imagine who would have gotten the most points in that game.
I think
Okay.
it was.
Yeah, Kyle. Abigail.
Go from
No, it
from
wasn't.
third
Abby
to
only got,
second
like,
to first.
one.
Kyle, it came out in '94.
Yeah, I was very off.
Wow.
2094. Wow.
That's an old movie.
Wait, when was the second one released?
Like a year later,
Yeah, right.
probably.
The
So then,
second
like, the
one
third
was
one-
released in 2002,
That one was weird. I did not like that one.
and the third one was released in 2006.
That one was decent, but yeah,
There's a third one?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I definitely knew that.
Anyway,
I'm just.
as we work out the
Do you
scores.
want to tell the scores for this one while I?
So the scores for the riddles: Esther got 4, Aaron got
No,
6,
you say who came first, second, and third, Zach.
Abby got 4, Kyle got a lot. So the winner is Kyle with 15 points. Second place is Aaron with 6 points. And tying on third is Esther and Abigail on 4. So now they have to fight it out.
What? What do you mean they have to fight it out? The points.
Ready?
Abby just won.
Virtual scissors paper rock. Let's
Ready?
go.
Ready?
What?
Scissors, paper, rock.
It's a tie.
We actually went to do it.
Oh man.
Esther
Guys,
almost did it
no,
too.
No, guys. All right. So this brings us to the.
Zach, we actually could do that. They have to send us a message of
Scissors, paper, rock.
Yeah, I guess that would work, but not right now, guys. We have a point system that we can add things up with without doing the scissors, paper, rock.
So in first place we have.
But you didn't explain what these points are for.
Oh, these points are for the prize.
No. Why did they
What
receive
points?
the points? These are the points added up between last week and this week. All the points so far in the month of May.
Right.
So now you can read out who has how many points.
Are they in order? No, they are not. So with 190 points, we have
190.
190, whatever. Esther at 140 points. We have Aaron at 100 points. We have Kyle Finlay at
Why am I getting two names?
because we have another
That's
Kyle.
special.
We have Kyle Lawrence.
Oh, right, gotcha.
At 90 points, we have Bree. At 70 points, we have Abigail. And at 60 points, we have Zinni. And at 40 points, we have Kyle Lawrence.
Say the one letter, Zach.
Kyle L.
Yeah, there you
Kyle
go.
L. Kyle L. Kyle
Okay, thank you, Zach. All right, so now we're going to find out what our theme is for next week.
L. Yeah, it's,
Pretty much the opposite of this week.
yeah, desert, pyramids, aliens,
Zinni's very
gold,
Yeah.
treasure, mummies.
I think Zinni likes Egypt.
I think a lot of people like Egypt because a lot of people picked it on the poll last week and this week.
Okay.
Why was the Egyptian boy confused?
We get a joke this week. Okay, yeah, Zach, why was
This
he
may
confused?
be politically incorrect for those of you who are sensitive.
Because he had 2 mummies. But, pish.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. I think the little theme song for the next week was better than a random.
Oh, wait, I have a theme song.
No,
About.
that's not the theme song for Egypt.
Here we go. So in the hour before we actually started First Afternoon Tea today, the lead up, we made this, me, Michaela, and Calvin. So this is our theme song. You probably didn't hear that because it's really distorted, but it's about a salamander that looks like a frog, but it's a fish. I think it'll make a tasty dish. So yeah, I don't know if there are salamanders in Egypt, but there are rivers, so you never know. I think.
Thoughts on that, Jay?
Jaden didn't listen to you when that was
Are
made.
you glad you weren't here when that was picked?
Yeah,
That's something we definitely don't need in our lives.
Okay,
We don't need
moving
someone in
on.
a song. Yeah, so this brings us to the part in our meeting where we're going to have a look at a video together. And the topic this week, the screen is black.
Is darkness. Oh wait, no, wait.
And now
It's
the
back to
screen
us.
is not black anymore. Well, you look at that. So our topic this week is the Bible. Why and how do I read the Bible? So we're going to be looking at what the Bible is and why it's actually an important thing for us. Yeah, so let's begin watching our video.
Okay, guys. Episode 6. It's on the Bible. Let's get some ideas going.
Okay, guys. Big ideas for this one are tips for how to read the Bible, purpose of the Bible, and what is the Bible.
I love that. We should go to London. London could work. We could go to St. Paul's Cathedral, interview Nikki Gumbel, and I actually have an aunt who lives there. So well, she's not actually my aunt. Like, but it's
guys, we have to do that one question. Stuck on a desert island. You can only bring 3 things. What would you bring?
Let's go with that. We're gonna start off on a desert island, and let's put Ben on the desert island.
Wait, what? Oh. Oh. Good choices. It's a nice day.
Cupcakes, because that's my food choice.
My MacBook Pro. My cell phone. I bring a fridge, an unlimited power bank. I don't even know if that exists.
How big is the island?
Probably a book on how to build a raft.
Can I bring watermelon seeds?
I would bring a musical device like an iPod. My closet full of clothes. I would bring an e-reader so it would have all the books to read.
A life supply of food. Is that good? Is that an option?
What else would I bring?
Lasagna.
Lemon meringue pie.
Swedish berries.
A good friend? Oh no, I'd ruin their lives.
Some of the best-selling books of all time include the Hunger Games trilogy, which has sold over 50 million copies, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe at 85 million sold, and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which has sold over 150 million copies. But more than 4 billion copies of the Bible have been distributed. Every year, over 100 million copies are sold or given away. It's been translated into more languages than any other piece of literature. The YouVersion Bible app has been downloaded over 250 million times and supports over 1,000 languages. The Bible is the best-selling book of the year every year. It's the most popular book of all time.
For many people, the Bible is their most precious possession. And the Bible's so powerful that some dictators and governments have even outlawed it. People risk fines, imprisonment, and severe punishment just to smuggle it into certain countries.
Yeah, some have even risked their lives to share its message with others. I heard the story of Miriam and Marziah, who risked their lives to share their faith in their home country. They would walk for miles, house to house, every night, and they'd put New Testament Bibles in people's mailboxes. After 3 years and 20,000 Bibles being delivered, they were found out and arrested. Miriam remembers the day that Marziah was arrested, and the police came to the door with her.
Suddenly, I heard the sound of her with a few others behind the door. Well, I saw her standing there with 3 guards. And I was so shocked when they ransacked everywhere and they took both of us with all our belongings, like Bibles, Jesus movies, into the security police. We had long hours of interrogation. I believe it was in the first day that he threatened us to physical torture. In that dark cell in the basement, we just hugged each other. We said goodbye because we thought it was our last day on earth. And we were so scared. I remember the only thing that we could do in that dark cell in those moments was just praying for each other. We spent almost 9 months in prison, and 14 days we were separated. We were staying in solitary confinement. And I can say during those 9 months, we had almost about 10 trials, 10 courts. And in each court, the judges and our interrogators would threaten us to execution by hanging. And they wanted to put pressure on us to deny our faith in Jesus.
We didn't have Bible with us, but we learned how to live with the verses of Bible. And every day we were praying and asking God to give us this power to live those verses and to show Him through those through our behaviors to prisoners. It was almost at the 9 months that we heard that we had many supports from different parts of the world. And because of all these supports, the government had to release us, unlike their desires.
I remember it was 2 years ago, we were in Australia and we were invited to a church. After our speech, a couple came up on the stage and they were, both of them, they were crying and they started to share their stories. They said that the wife found one of those Bibles that we put in their mailboxes, and they found the Bible and the whole family came to Christ just by reading that New Testament that we put in their mailboxes.
So, what is the Bible? The Bible is a book, or more accurately, it's a collection of books. The word Bible comes from a Latin word, biblia, which means books or library of books. It's divided into 2 main sections, the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament is the larger of the two and includes what was written before Jesus lived. The New Testament is what was written afterwards. Together, the Old and the New Testament were written over a span of around 1,600 years by at least 40 different authors. Kings, scholars, tax collectors, philosophers, fishermen, poets, statesmen, historians, teachers, prophets, and doctors. They wrote different types of literature, like history, poetry, prophecy, and letters. The Bible is 100% the work of human authors, but Christians believe it's also 100% inspired by God. So how can that be?
One of the greatest English architects, Sir Christopher Wren, is best known for building St. Paul's Cathedral in London. He was the chief architect on the project, which took about 36 years to finish. As the architect, he carefully planned where each stone should go. And even though he never laid a stone himself, no one would dispute the fact that he built it. Sir Christopher Wren was the inspiration behind it all. In a similar way, with the Bible, there are many different writers, but one architect, one inspiration behind it all: God Himself.
2 Timothy 3:16 says this: all Scripture, referring to the Bible, is God-breathed. In other words, all Scripture is inspired by God. The Bible isn't a random collection of writings. It's God's message of love to the world.
It's a timeless story. Whether it's true or not is to everybody's own opinion.
The Bible is so controversial. Bit of wisdom, isn't it?
It's a good history book.
I think people take the Bible way too literally.
I guess a lot of people are lost in the world, and the Bible helps them find meaning.
It represents a path that people are supposed to follow.
Just a book, man. If you want to read it, you read it, but because people's opinions complicate everything, I feel like the purpose of it has been tainted a bit.
Give people something to believe in.
Yeah, absolutely.
To form some sort of unity.
I think the Bible is a guide on how to live.
Guidance.
Guidance, just the same way as any holy book.
If that's what you want to abide by and if that's the way that you want to live your life, then I think that absolutely it has a purpose.
If you were to grab a Bible and just flip it open at random, you might be surprised at what you find. Most likely you'll find yourself in the middle of a story or a letter or a song.
Or you'll find practical wisdom and advice for life. In 2 Timothy it says, "All Scripture is inspired by God and is useful to teach us what is true and to make us realize what is wrong in our lives. It corrects us when we are wrong and teaches us to do what is right. God uses it to prepare and equip His people to do every good work."
The Bible, or God's Word, is the highest authority for what we believe and for how we live. It talks about things we deal with every day, like friends, money, work, pain, and happiness. The Bible is a guide. It shows us how to live, and it gives us boundaries. Some might say, I don't want a rule book. If I follow this, I'll lose my freedom. But if there were no boundaries or guidelines in life, our lives would be complete chaos. Think about driving. Boundaries help make it safe for us to drive cars, or sports. Sports without rules would be terrible.
Canodle's really got to get back on track here after bogeying the 14th. It looks like he's ready to make his shot.
A smart move. Another smart move by Canodle.
We can find true freedom in our lives when we're in God's will. God doesn't say things like don't murder because He wants to ruin our fun. He says it because He loves us. Jesus summed up all of God's instructions like this. He said, love God and love others. If you've ever tried reading the Bible before, you've probably come across some pretty confusing parts that raise a lot of questions. And if you find it challenging at times, don't give up. Keep on reading. The more you read, believing it's God's Word, the more life it will give you, and the more you'll begin to understand the confusing parts.
Yeah, that's what I've found after reading the Bible over the years. So many of the questions I've had have been answered. Now, I still have lots of questions, but it's a journey. The more I read, the more I understand.
Jesus is the key to understanding the whole Bible. We interpret Scripture through the lens of Jesus.
Luke's Gospel describes an encounter Jesus had with two of his friends. It was just after his resurrection, and they were walking to a city called Emmaus. As they walked on a road just like this, he began to talk them through the Old Testament. Beginning with Genesis and working his way through, he showed them all the different ways that the Scriptures were speaking about himself.
It's like the entire Bible is one big arrow pointing us to Jesus. And that's the number one thing that God wants to show us, Himself.
Jesus is the supreme revelation of God. We see more and more of what God is like as we look at Jesus.
The Bible is a huge part of our day-to-day relationship with God.
God has spoken, and God still speaks to us today. In some ways, God's Word is like a letter from God. When I get a letter from someone I love, like my wife Melissa, I treasure it, I hold on to it. And it's the same with the Bible. It's special because through it, we hear God's voice.
For much of my life, I wasn't a Christian. I come from a family of barristers, trial lawyers. I practiced as a barrister for a number of years. My father was a barrister. My mother was a barrister. My sister is a barrister. My son qualified as a barrister. My daughter qualified as a barrister. My grandfathers on both sides were barristers. My uncle was a barrister. If we'd had a cat, it would have been a barrister. My father was Jewish. He was a secular Jew. He escaped the Holocaust. Many of his family had died in the Holocaust. My mother was not a churchgoer. My father described himself as an agnostic. And I came to the conclusion, when I was a teenager, that I was an atheist. I was quite an argumentative atheist. Not that I was out to convert people to atheism, but if anyone had tried to convert me to Christianity, then I had a lot to say on the subject. And I was quite suspicious of Christians. I'd come across one or two of them in my gap year, and they had these smiles, which I found deeply suspicious. And in my first year at university, I had a room next door to my great friend, Nicky Lee. And I warned him against these Christians. I said, don't let them into your room, whatever you do. But it was too late. He'd met some. One time, he and his then girlfriend, now his wife, Scylla, came back and they said that they had become Christians. I was horrified. I mean, they were such lovely people. I thought, how can I help them? I really didn't know very much about it, so I thought, I better investigate. So I managed to find this old Bible, and that night I started reading it. I started at the beginning of the New Testament. I read Matthew's Gospel, Mark, Luke. I got about halfway through John's Gospel. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I fell asleep. The following day, I carried on reading. All that day, all the next day, all the day afterwards. I was a student, so I didn't have any work to do. And when I got to the end of the New Testament, I came to the conclusion, it's true. It was as if the person of Jesus had emerged from the pages of the New Testament, and I'd encountered him. The Bible is all about Jesus. It points us to Jesus. As we read the Bible, as I read the Bible, I am expecting to encounter Jesus. I expect to hear God speak to me. So each day, that's how I start. Like I start with physical breakfast, I start with spiritual food. That's the first thing I do. The first thing I do in the morning is I want to encounter Jesus. I want to have that spiritual hunger satisfied. It sets me up for the day. I read something that Rick Warren wrote about the Bible, and this really is my story. I could say all these things have been true for me as I've read the Bible daily over the decades. He says this, reading the Bible generates life. It produces change. It heals hurts. It builds character. It transforms circumstances. It imparts joy. It overcomes adversity. It defeats temptation. It infuses hope. It releases power. And it cleanses the mind.
I actually grew up reading the Bible, memorizing verses like every single week.
No, never.
I always kind of go back to the Psalms because there's like a whole range of emotion. And I feel like whatever place I'm at in life, I can find a psalm to correlate to that place.
I mean, I understand the values that it's trying to teach, but there's certain things that kind of I felt conflicted about.
Before it was just kind of a rule book. It was just a book that you just read just so that you got your mom and your parents happy. I didn't see it as anything important until I actually wanted to develop a relationship with Jesus. Then I realized that the Bible isn't actually there to condemn me, it's actually there to help me.
No, I've literally never touched a Bible in my life.
Okay, here are a few practical tips to help you read the Bible. Our first tip is get a Bible. You may want to ask the host of your Alpha to help you find one. You can also find Bibles online or as an app too. We love the YouVersion Bible app.
Okay, the second tip is for you to find a time and place that works for you. For example, if you're a morning person, then you could take 10 minutes in the morning, maybe make some breakfast, and then read a couple of verses.
Yeah, or you can listen to the Bible on your way to work or school. Tip number 3, when you read the Bible, don't flip and point. Reading a random verse here and there will likely leave you confused and maybe a bit lost. It's best to read it one book at a time.
Yeah, but don't feel like you need to start with the first page of Genesis. We recommend starting with one of the Gospels, like Mark or John. And to help you get started, we've built a few reading plans. Just search Alpha Youth in the YouVersion app.
Okay, tip number 4, genre matters.
It's important to know what kind of book you're reading. Some books are poetry, others history, while some are letters. Knowing what kind of book you're reading will help you understand how to read it.
Tip number 5, ask lots of questions. When you read your Bible, ask questions about what you're reading to help you understand the context, like who was it written to and what was happening in their world.
Yeah, and then you can ask questions like, what does it mean for us today? And what does it teach us about who God is?
Tip number 6, pray. One of my friends had written on the edge of her Bible, pray before opening. This meant that every time she went to read her Bible, she was reminded to talk to God about it.
Okay, our final tip, tip number 7, is to talk to people. You know, reading the Bible isn't something we should only do alone. Talk about what you're reading with friends, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
And those are our 7 tips.
I remember this one morning before school when I was 14 years old. I was sitting on the floor of my bedroom reading the Bible, and I had just started the book of Jeremiah, And some of the words in the very first chapter, they really stood out to me. This is what it says. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. O sovereign Lord, I said, I can't speak for you, I'm too young. The Lord replied, don't say I'm too young, for you must go wherever I send you and say whatever I tell you. And don't be afraid of the people, for I'll be with you and will protect you. In that moment, I felt like God was speaking to me. It was as if the words jumped off the pages. Seeing how God called Jeremiah at such a young age reminded me that God uses young people like I was, who don't always feel confident or qualified. I was filled with this deep sense of purpose by the reality that God knew me before I was even born, and that He had a plan for my life. I remember knowing deep down in my heart that no matter what, no matter how intimidated I was by what was in front of me, that God was with me, that He'd protect me and guide me, just as He promised Jeremiah. Now this moment transformed my life, and I find myself going back to those verses all the time. But here's the thing. Most days that I read the Bible, it's not like that. I don't always have a big epiphany, but I found that the daily practice of reading Scripture has changed me over time. Over the years, the Word of God has shaped me and formed the way I think about God, about myself and others. It's a huge, irreplaceable part of my friendship with Jesus, and I can't imagine life without it. Maybe you've never really tried to read the Bible before, or you haven't in some time. Our hope for you is that you feel like that's something you could give a try today.
Anyone want to play volleyball?
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. We hope you had a great time. Remember, like our Facebook page and join our Facebook group.
Yeah, and also on there you can find this sheet, which will tell you what you need to know if you want to submit any things and be a part of our group. Yeah, and our theme for next week, here's a reminder, is
Egypt.
Yeah, so jump on board, have a look at what you could do, join
Make
in.
some stuff up, submit it.
Yeah, and for now, see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.